Hello again. How in the world does she hold that weapon with her tiny little wrists, wing divers? Welcome back to our firing range where we're testing all the DLC weapons for DLC Pack 1. This time we're on to Wing Diver, and as you can see, she has styrofoam weapons. So that's how she's able to hold those with her little arms. But anyway, let's get into the weapons here. For Wing Diver, let's start with the first column here. She received two in this column here. She has a rapier and she has a new static weapon, which is really cool, by the way. As far as the rapier goes, it's quite a bit of damage. The previous best rapier, let's see what it does. The previous best rapier does 24,276 damage per second, and this one does 53,142. So it's almost a actually it is more than double the previous damage. As far as the range, it only gained about 6 meter range compared to the other one, so it's still relatively short. It's a 36 meter range. So I mean, of course, it makes sense because you know the damage is so high. It should have a smaller range, but still a very good rapier. Very good for going in, doing quick damage, and just getting out really quickly. The energy cost is about similar to the other one. The previous one, the lower level one, is 249, and this one's 251.2, so it's pretty similar. And let's see if there's anything else to share with that. I don't think that's pretty much it. And then she has a new cool static gun, which her previous static gun was up here. Let's see where it's at. This one right here. And this one was pretty average DPS. It was 4,068 damage per second. It has a 100 meter range, but it wasn't anything too great because it was just a tiny, like a shotgun pattern. So you're only hitting one enemy at a time, and I don't know, it was okay. I liked having a magazine weapon sometimes if you really want to get your energy back, but just nothing too special. However, this one is really useful in my opinion. The damage isn't much higher. It's 4,484 damage per second. Has a 102 meter range. Very low energy, 116 energy only. But I'll show you how it fires. It's pretty cool. I think it might be the new idun for underground. Let's go ahead and pick an underground mission here to show this one. So it's not the greatest damage, but I think it's going to be something that's going to be pretty useful, as you'll see here in a moment. Here's the rapier. Same as any other rapier, just very wide cone and very high damage. So nothing too special about it, but it's definitely, special in the fact that it has double the damage. So pretty crazy how much damage this thing does. It just destroys anything. So these guys have no hope of getting out of this little corner here. And then there's this weapon. This is the new static weapon. It shoots in like a V pattern, so it bounces off walls as well. So and it fires 2 a second. I really like this weapon because it's really good at stunning enemies, and like I said, it hits multiple enemies with decent damage per second. That I think that this could be a viable weapon because of how widespread it is. Let me go over here too now. I'm really liking it, and like I said, really low energy, so very useful in that respect as well. Quick reload, not bad at all. And as you can see, it's really good on stunning enemies because it's a pretty constant fire. So I think it could be good for underground to just trap enemies from it and get through, as well as above ground. I think could be good because of the fact that it's got decent range and decent damage. So I don't know. I personally like it. I don't know. I don't think it compares as much to like a rapier as far as damage, or a lance rather as far as damage, but I think there's definitely uses for it, and it's definitely a cool weapon. Very happy with it. So yeah, that's just, I think it's called the static plasma whip or something like that. I don't know, a spark whip or something. I don't know, but yeah, pretty cool. I'm liking it. I think I'll be using that weapon honestly. And of course, the rapier is always a decent weapon as far as situational. Like it can be good in certain situations, just when you need like high damage. But obviously you can get close enough and not die. So pretty cool. Let's move on to the next category here. She received a new laser, and as you know, lasers are pretty bad in this column. However, I'm thinking this one could possibly have a use. And let me explain here. Um, it does 14,268 damage per second, and it has a 340 meter range. So, if you didn't know, the way the lasers work is, when you start firing, it does the damage that it says, and then it slowly moves down damage as you empty the magazine. And when you get to half the magazine, it does 1/8 of the damage. So you're at about, I think it was like 1,500 damage at that point per second, which isn't necessarily terrible. But so pretty much what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to reload this weapon at about 75-60% of the magazine left, and then you can continue to use it. Unfortunately, the energy cost is very high. As you see, the previous best one is 363 energy to reload this thing, whereas this one's 871. However, I think having that burst damage at 340 meter range can be useful in certain circumstances, and if you have a decent energy pack, energy core, you can reload this thing as long as you don't fly too much, and use it on the ground as a high damage, 14,000 damage per second weapon. So I'm thinking it may have some uses. Let's see what else there is. It does the same 60 per second, and it's got still the same, they all have the same magazine, which I believe is, the lasers at least, have 1472 is the magazine for all of them. This previous laser above it is 6,000, so it's more than double the previous one. And the energy, unfortunately, is more than double as well. But the range is the best of any of the lasers, so we take one of those. I'm really liking it though. I think there could be a possible use for it. And then there's the Idun, which is very good. It does 8,154 damage per second versus the previous best one, which was 4,281. So it's double the damage. And instead of having a 300 meter range, it has a 420 meter range. So it has more range than the previous Idun. And the energy cost is only 106.6 energy maxed out versus the previous best one, which was 151. So better in all respects. So a very good weapon. I'll take one of each of these, and then I'll take one of these energy tanks. She received 2 new energy tanks. I might as well cover those right now. She has one that is really high energy. When it's maxed out, it's 2,500 energy. There is one above here that's even higher than that, which is level 78, which mine isn't maxed out, but it's higher than that. But the negative thing of this one is you can't fly with it. It costs very much, and you can't really get off the ground more than like a couple of meters. So this one is where you're forced to pretty much stay on the ground. However, this one has close to the same energy, but you can fly with it. However, there is a negative. There is a negative 10% on your flight speed, and also flying does consume 300 energy per second. So it's more of a energy tank if you want high energy and you want to primarily stay on the ground, but if you need to get away, you can still get away fast and fly away, but you just don't want to do that too often. So that's kind of a cool change for an energy core. So that's cool. And then there's her best, or this other one, 106, which is 1,599 energy, and it charges 79.7, so pretty good charge. It's very similar to this one, the previous best one, level 88, except it gives you a perk on this one, and it's 30% more weapon charge speed. So I guess you can pretty much say it replaces the previous best one and just adds a stat to it, which is 30% weapon charge. So pretty nice. Definitely be useful. I think both of those will be useful, so pretty nice. Alright, let's go ahead and take these out. I want to use this on... I think I want to use it on a frog mission, honestly, to show it. I think this is a good mission to do it. So like I said, as long as you don't fly too much, you can use this laser and reload it and keep the damage up pretty high on this. So here's the laser right here. Great range. And then you get to about here in the magazine, or a little bit more, when you can reload it. And it doesn't use that much energy. And then by the time you use it and need to reload it again, you can still have your energy back to where for what you lost from the reload. So I think there's a use for this weapon because of just how high damage this thing has. Look at this thing just rip this guy apart. Alright, I killed one already. And I'm gonna go ahead and, now I'm gonna go ahead and reload it. Hey, who's destroying this building here? I didn't think they had explosives. Maybe it's all the tank, probably the tank did it. And then there's the Idun, which is a charged weapon, but very accurate, very good range. Oh, there's a guy right here, maybe I should be fighting. Charges really fast, and pretty good damage per second as well, 8,000. So, I mean, obviously this thing will outclass as far as if you want to fly and have decent damage. But I think the laser can be useful. The laser can be useful to take out targets more on the ground or single at one at a time. It really kills these things fast. As you can see, it's pretty good damage. Let me go ahead and reload this again. It is unfortunate that you have to reload as often as you do, but having 14,000 damage with a 340 meter range, I think is hard to beat, honestly. And I think there can be some uses for it, honestly. So. So I think it's pretty good, and as you can see, it just, oh my goodness, I just melted my ranger, sorry. Very, very strong. But once you get down to half magazine, it's not worth using it too much. But you can, I mean, it's unfortunately there's no zoom on this thing, but you could definitely use it from very far range. We could just melt those guys. Oh, this guy's still over here. And this thing has a really good range too, so... he just pushed his friend over. So the nice thing about this is, as well, it's pretty accurate until the very end. Oh, wow. So, I definitely like the Iduns. They're very low energy this time around, so pretty cool weapons. And 8,000 damage is definitely high for weapons with range, so pretty cool. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Look at that, I just took all those guys out with the laser. Pretty good. Alright, let's go back. So those two weapons are really good. Alright, let's move on to the next category. Next category would be, she had received a new shotgun, which the previous shotgun is a, the previous shotgun does, let's see what we got here. Shotgun, okay. The previous shotgun does 12,600 damage per shot with a 9.1 meter blast and a 480 meter range. So very good shotgun, very useful weapon. And how much energy is it? 143 energy. Yeah, 143. Oh no, 137. Sorry, 137 energy. And then her new shotgun is more damage. It's 15. Yeah, 15,800 damage. It has only 143 energy, so pretty similar to the cost of this other shotgun. But it has a 720 meter range, so it has more range, supposedly at least. I'm gonna go show you what actually does. It performs a lot different though. So, and then she didn't receive a sniper, which makes sense because she has really good snipers already. She doesn't really need another sniper. The Monster GZ is very good, and this one's very good as well. And then she received a rocket launcher, or a grenade launcher if you want to call it that instead. So let's go ahead and take this underground. Now, even though the shotgun says it has a 700 and how much is it? 720 meter range. The problem is it falls to the ground like a plasma fall. So when you shoot it, you can shoot it relatively far, but it's like an arcing grenade almost now. So I guess you would use this one for when you want to when you're hitting all enemies on the ground, so you don't waste any of your shots. Which is, I think, it's kind of a cool idea. It's definitely high damage. As far as the blast is actually a little bit less. It's 6.8 meters instead of 9.1 on the other one. But I don't know, it's not bad. I think it could be useful on certain missions where you're just trying to hit all your targets on ground enemies. So definitely interesting. And then her rocket launcher. Let me restart, because I don't want to deal with these spiders. And then her rocket launcher, which is really nothing too special, honestly. I was kind of disappointed. It shoots very straight, very good range. It's just a little bit better than her previous best one. This one does 2,038 damage, maxed out, a 31.4 meter blast, and 173 energy, compared to her other one, which is 1698 damage. So, what is that, like 300 more damage, 350 more damage? And her other one has a little bit, one meter less blast radius, and it's got less energy cost, so it's 106 compared to the 173 on this one. So, this one actually uses more energy for just having, what, 400 more damage? So, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. It's nothing really too special, but I mean, it's not a bad one. It's not a bad rocket launcher or anything, but it just seems very average overall. Just a slight increase, a slight improvement. So, not too happy with the energy cost though, but it's not terrible. So yeah, that's her rocket. So, and then one last weapon she received, and that would be a Geist. When I first read that this is a Geist, I was very excited, and then seeing that it has A+ accuracy made me even more excited. And the damage is ridiculous. It's 906 damage for 5 targets with a 12 meter blast and a 500 meter range, and only 38.9 energy cost per second, compared to her other one, which is 403 or 400 times 3. So it's more than double, and then plus 2 more targets. The other one has the lower level one has a 25 meter blast compared to the 12 meter. So the other one has a bigger blast, but this one is definitely more damage. They both have the same range. The other one has a C+ accuracy compared to this A+, but it doesn't make sense, as I'll show you here in a moment. And the other one uses 20.3 energy, as compared to this one's 38.9. So this one uses more energy. Anyway, let's go ahead and take this. And I'll take it on this mission here. I'm kind of confused as to this weapon. Maybe you can help me understand in the comments. But if you're more familiar with this weapon, but it shoots very straight, and then it homes in on the target. But the problem is, by the time it homes in on the target, it's past the target, and it misses. So as you can see, I have not hit a single target. I have not hit a single frog with this weapon yet. It's going around it, and it's going behind it and crossing over, as you can see in the back there. And I'm not sure why it does this. It's almost like it needs a 1,000 meter range, so you could be really far back, and by the time it homes in, it'll hit the target. But as you can see, I haven't hit a single enemy. Now, when it goes into 5, it'll shoot one straight down, I believe, so I'll be able to shoot one enemy in front of me, but it's almost like you almost need to turn the angle so that it actually hits the target, or you need to be really far back, or use it as a rocket launcher. So where, as you can see, it shoots very straight. You can kind of, walk into enemies, the groups of enemies, and just shoot it like a rocket launcher, like a 5-way rocket launcher, but I'm not sure if this is a mistake by them or what, but very disappointing, I would say. Like you say, I kind of can angle my shots here and hit them, but I have to make sure that I'm actually hitting them, and because it's not going to home back on them later. Let me restart here. Let me go a little higher up and show it too from a building. But I'm not sure what's the point of this weapon, if that's the case. It's almost like it has to be a rocket launcher. So I'm going to go ahead and start shooting it. As you can see, it can't home in. It just, even though it's got an A+ accuracy, it cannot home in. Where'd all the guys go? Oh, they're down here. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to think about it. I'm kind of disappointed, honestly. I was hoping for something that would work better. As you can see, I can't reach the guys that are way out there, so I can't benefit from the far. I'm not sure. Even that guy way out there, I can't hit him with the homing because it's going past him and it's going straight into the ground. So, how do you use this weapon? Kind of disappointed. But I mean, I guess like I said, you can. Let me change it to a different mission, and use it on the ground enemies and use it like a rocket launcher. I mean, it's got high damage in that respect. So let me use it on this first mission here. And I'll stand further back and kind of let him walk towards me and use it like a rocket launcher. I mean, it'll be better, of course, when I have the one that shoots straight in front of me as well, because then I'll have like a five-way rocket launcher. But for now, it's just going to be a 4-way for me until I upgrade it. But I mean, maybe when I upgrade it, it'll work better. I don't think so. It's still an 8 accuracy, so I don't think it has to do with that. But as you can see, you can kind of use it as a rocket launcher, but a 12-meter blast rocket launcher, and with 5, it'll be a lot easier to use because I don't want to keep turning left and right. But I mean, it's strong in that way, I guess. But and 900 damage per shot, that's pretty good. So, I don't know. Once you're down to 2 targets, you can't really hit anything. So, let me go ahead and... Oh, it's a rocket launcher here. So yeah, it's, I don't know what to think of that weapon, honestly, but I mean, it's definitely different, and I think there could be some uses for it, but not as much as I was hoping. So, I think overall, her weapons are pretty solid. I mean, I really like the static gun. I think that's going to be useful. The rapier, of course, is strong. Her laser might have some uses finally. The eye-gun's great. The shotgun's great. The rocket or grenade launcher is pretty average at best, but and this might have some uses as well. But I mean, nothing really broken, I don't think. I think it's just pretty good overall weapons, pretty useful weapons. So pretty cool. Anyway, let me know what you think about that grenade launcher if you know of like better uses for it, and thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one when I'll go through Air Raider.